Hi, it's Miss Trisha from the Carver County Library, and I'm so happy to be joining you today for a story time. We're going to be reading all about pets today, and we're going to be talking about pets and even singing some songs about pets. Our library story times are virtual right now, and they're posted on the Carver County Library Facebook page, and some of them are even on our YouTube channel. So you can check it out and you can watch them over and over again. But I'm very happy to be joining you today, and we're going to start out and we are going to sing our welcome song, friends. So with the welcome song, Miss Trisha likes to use a scarf, but you can use any piece of fabric, even a blanket if you want. And I also have a shaker egg. You don't have to have one. You can just shake your hands like this and do kind of jazz hands if you don't have a shaker egg when we get to that part. We're going to start out and we're going to sing our welcome song. We're going to wave, then toss our scarves and shake our eggs, and then do the quiet sign. Are you ready, friends? This is the way we say hello, say hello, say hello. This is the way we say hello at story time. Are you ready to toss your scarf or your fabric? This is the way we toss our scarves, toss our scarves, toss our scarves. Oh, I just got hit in the nose. This is the way we toss our scarves at story time. Sometimes Miss Trisha tosses it way up high. We're going to put that back here, and now we're going to shake our egg. Or again, if you don't have an egg, just do your jazz hands. This is the way we shake our egg, shake our egg, shake our egg. This is the way we shake our egg at story time. We're going to use this egg again later. I'm going to set it back here. We have our last verse, and then this is when we're getting ready to listen to our stories and put on our good listening ears, friends. This is the way we sit so still, sit so still, sit so still. This is the way we sit so still at story time. Nice job, and welcome everyone. Welcome to our story session. Like I said, we're going to be talking about pets today. And the first story I'm going to read and tell to you is how Spot found a home. And with this story, it's a really old story. So I have pictures to show you because it's not in a book. So I'm going to show you some pictures of Spot, and you can kind of think about how Spot found a home. It's a wonderful story. So I even have a kitty to kind of help me that'll sit with me. And you might have a pet like a kitty at home that can sit with you during story time too. We'll pretend this is our Spot, this mama kitty with the kittens. Once there was a cat, and her name was Spot. There she is right there. And Spot had 3 different color spots. That's how it got its name. Spot was yellow and black and white, kind of a calico cat. And the boys on the street called her Spot. There she is. She was a poor cat with no home but the street. And when she wanted to sleep, oh, poor Spot, she had to hunt for a dark cellar to sleep in. A cellar's kind of like a basement. She had to find a basement or a little hole to crawl into because she was really tired and she didn't have a home. And when she wanted to eat, our poor Spot had to dig into the garbage cans to find food to eat. Spot was very, very thin because she didn't have much to eat, and she was very unhappy. She really, really wanted to find a home, her own home, and maybe with her own boys and girls to take care of her. And Spot would prowl, and she'd yowl, and she'd howl because she was so sad. Do you want to try and howl a little bit like a cat? I would like that. Kind of like, wow. That's maybe the sound Spot made. Can you try it? Let's do it together. Wow. Oh my goodness, that's kind of a sad song, isn't it? That's maybe the song that Spot made. Now one day, our friend Spot was out walking along in the alley, and she was looking to find a home. She really, really wanted to find a home because she was sad and hungry, remember? So she wanted to find a home. And she kept saying to herself a little kind of chant in her head that she would remember about finding her home. what do kitties say when they're talking? Do you know what words they use? What do kitties say? I bet you do. Do kitties say meow? Can you do it? Meow, meow. That's what Spot said. Meow, meow. I've no place to eat. I've no place to sleep. I've only the street. And then she said it again. And let's do it 3 times. Meow, meow, meow. That was what our friend poor Spot said. That was how she talked with her little meow. So that was amazing. You did a good job with the meowing. We're going to have to keep doing it all through the story, so you're going to have to help Miss Trisha out with the story. Then all of a sudden, Spot, do you see how Spot has a little pink nose? She wiggled her pink nose. Cats have a really good sense of smell. She wiggled her little pink nose, and she could smell something in the air. And you can wiggle your nose and kind of smell. And Spot knew what it was. She smelled smoke. There she is. There's Spot. And she saw something else. She said, where there's smoke, there's fire. And she looked up and she saw a chimney. And where there's a fire, there's a nice warm place to lie down. And that was what Spot wanted. Remember, Spot wants a home and a nice warm place to lie down. So she jumped down from the fence and she ran on her little padded feet like this. And she saw milk, an empty milk bottle by the door. There's our Spot. And she said, where there are milk bottles, there is milk. And do you think Spot likes to drink some milk? Yes, Spot does. Spot would really like some milk. And so she thought that would be good to drink. So our kitty Spot slipped through the door after she checked out that milk bottle. See, she's checking it out. She's checking it out for some milk. She slipped through the door and into the house. And inside the house, it was nice and warm, and she was in the kitchen, and she spotted a stove, and she lay right down nice and soft in front of the stove, and she was very happy, and she closed her eyes. And you know, kitties make a special noise when they're very happy, and they close their eyes. Do you know what that noise is? What noise do kitties make? What do they say? Do they say purr? So she said, purr, purr, and she closed her eyes just like that. Curling up warm into a ball of fur, our Spot is curling up warm. I close my eyes and I purr, purr, purr. Can you try it with me, friends? Purr, purr, purr. That's what our friend Spot did. She just curled right up. We're going to look at a picture of her all curled up. The little kitty, nice and snug by the fire, all curled up. That's what she did. What a wonderful place to stay. Uh-oh. But then something happened. Bang! Went the kitchen door. And Spot opened one sleepy eye. This kitty can't open an eye, but Spot opened one sleepy eye. And in front of her stood a cross woman. Cross means angry. And the cross woman scowled. That means she made an unhappy face. And she picked up poor Spot and she threw her out the door, screaming, scat, scat, you old street cat, scat, scat, and never come back. With a bound, Spot jumped up onto the fence. And do you remember when we talked before about what kitties say? What do kitties say when they're talking? Do they say meow, meow? We're going to do it again. Let's say meow, meow. I've no place to eat. Meow, meow, I've no place to sleep. Meow, meow, I've only the street. Can you meow with me 1, 2, 3 times? Meow, meow, meow. That's what our friend poor Spot was saying again. Spot does not have a home, and Spot is feeling very sad once again. So she walked along her little fence once again, and all of a sudden, remember that pink nose? She smelled something again. What do you think she smelled? Remember what she smelled last time? Did she smell smoke? That's right, she did. She smelled smoke once again. And she stopped by the house and saw that there were 2 chimneys, friends. And where there are chimneys, there must be fire. There must be 2 fires. And that certainly must be a spot where a home where Spot could keep nice and warm. And she padded over to the door. Our little Spot's padding over to the door. And she stopped in front of the door. And she saw 2 empty milk bottles this time. 2 empty milk bottles. There is so much milk, she said. But Spot went to the door. And the door wasn't open. So Spot looked around. And then she spied an open window. So she jumped up and landed and went through the open window. And there she was. And there was another warm kitchen with another nice warm rug. And she curled up. Do you remember how she curled up again? She curled up nice and warm. And she closed her eyes. And do you remember what Spot says when Spot is nice and warm and happy? Do you remember that noise that she makes? Sometimes kitties make that noise. Purr, purr. She shuts her eyes. Curling up warm to a ball of fur, I close my eyes. And you do it with me, friends. Do it 3 times. And I purr, purr, purr. That's right. That's what Spot said. She was so happy. She thought she found a home where she could stay that was nice and warm, right? Oh my goodness. But all of a sudden, this is a bad one. Oh, look at that. That's kind of a nasty noise that cats make. Something hissed close by, and Spot leaped up on her feet, and Spot said, back. For there in front of her stood an enormous black cat, and his back was humped up, and his hair all stood on end, and his eyes gleamed, and he showed his light, shiny teeth. Oh, he said, leave my rug, leave my fire, he hissed, leave my milk, get out of my home. Oh, this does not seem like a very good place for our cat Spot. It seems like there's a really angry cat there. So Spot gave one big great jump out the window and landed onto the fence. Spot was a little and thin, but the great big black cat was big and strong and didn't want Spot at the house. So Spot, our poor kitty, had to leave again and did not have a place to stay all over again. So Spot is back out on the street, trotting along on her fence. Do you remember her fence there? There's her fence where she's trotting along, poor Spot. And do you remember what kitties say when they talk? Can you help me? Do kitties say meow, meow? Yeah? Meow, meow. I've no place to eat. I've no place to sleep. I've only the street. Let's say it together 3 times. Meow, meow, meow. Poor little Spot. Uh-oh. But then all of a sudden, remember Spot with her little nose? Her little nose twitched again, and she smelled something. What did she smell, friends? Do you remember what she smelled? She smelled smoke. She smelled smoke, and this time she looked up, and she saw a house with 3 chimneys. 3 chimneys? Where there are 3 fires, there must be room for me, she said. And so she jumped off the fence and ran over to the door, and by the door, guess what? There were 3 empty milk bottles. 3 empty milk bottles. Oh my goodness, there is so much milk. There must be children in this house, thought Spot. But the door was shut tight, and Spot didn't know what to do. And she looked around for a window, and there were no open windows. But then Spot spied a staircase. So she climbed up the stairs. She trotted right up, and there the door was open, and she went into the house and heard a very, very pleasant sound. What do you think she heard? She heard the sound of a warm fire. It said, I crickle, I crackle, I flicker and flare. I jump from nothing into the air. And there on the hearth burned an open fire with a warm, warm rug sitting right in front of it. And on the rug was a little table. And on the table, friends, there were 2 little mugs with milk. Just what Spot was looking for. So Spot, remember how Spot likes to curl up? Spot curled up on the rug under the table just like this. And do you remember that happy noise Spot makes when Spot's feeling warm and taken care of? Do you remember? Spot said, purr, purr, and she shut her eyes. Curling up warm in a ball of fur, I shut my eyes, and let's do it together 3 times, and I say, purr, purr, purr. What a wonderful place for Spot. Let's see what happens next in our story. All of a sudden Spot heard a noise. It was a different noise. It wasn't that nasty black cat, and it wasn't a woman yelling at her. Instead, she heard the sound, pat, 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 pat. Spot heard little feet coming her way, and then she saw a boy in his nightgown, and he ran into the room and he said, "Look, a pretty spotted cat is under our table." And then Spot heard another wonderful sound. Spot heard pat, 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 pat. And another child ran into the room, a little girl wearing a nightgown. And the little girl was so excited, she said, "Look, a kitty has come to take supper with us." And the boy, with a quick wink, he winked his eye just like that. Can you wink your eye? He took the saucer from his mug down and he put it on the floor and he poured a little milk in it. And then the little girl did a little wink and she poured a little of her milk into the saucer too. And they gave Spot a little treat. Oh my goodness, Spot was so happy. Spot right away decided to lick up that milk. Do you know how kitties lick the milk with their tongue? So Spot took her pink tongue and she licked up the milk in and out, went her tongue until all the milk was gone and her tummy was so full. Now our Spot was ready to sleep. But before she slept, she had to clean herself because she had such a good meal. So just as kitties do, she took out that tongue again, and you could try this at home, but don't lick your skin. It might get sticky. Just for fun, the kitties lick like this, whoop, 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 and they lick their paws, and then she rubbed her paws and cleaned her face. Whoop, whoop, and then she rubbed her paws and cleaned her face all over again. So she was all nice and clean. And then after that, our Spot curled up. She has a full tummy now and she's all clean. She curled up and began to sing. Do you remember that nice song she makes? That sound when she's very happy? What does she say, friends? Does she say purr? We're going to see if she says it. Purr, purr, purr. It was her way of saying thank you to the little boy and the little girl and letting them know, I have found a home. Let's do purr 3 times, real happy. Purr, purr, purr. Nice job, friends. That was the story of how Spot found a home, and she found her little boy and girl. And you might have some type of pet at your home that you like to take care of also. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, is all about pets. This was a story about Spot, and Spot became a pet of the little boy and girl also. You know what? You might have all kinds of different pets. And I thought it might be kind of fun to sing a song about pets, friends. This song is to the tune of How Much Is That Doggy in the Window? But we're going to do all kinds of pets in the window. Is that okay? So we'll start out, and I'll get a pet, and we'll do a doggy first. We'll sing, how much is that doggy in the window? And then we go, woof, woof. The one with the waggly tail, woof, woof. How much is that doggy in the window? Woof, woof. I do hope that he is for sale. You might like a dog. Should we do another pet? We'll try another pet. Oh, I found a really good pet. I have a pet like this at my house. What is this, friends? Is this a bird? That's right. How much is that birdie in the window? And we're going to say, tweet, tweet, the one with the flappity wings. How much is that birdie in the window? Tweet, tweet, I do hope that he is for sale. Oh, I think we need to do another pet. Maybe you have this type of pet at your house. Do you have a rabbit? Rabbits can be awfully fun pets. You might see them in your yard, but those ones aren't pets. But you might have a domestic rabbit that you take care of at home. So we'll do a rabbit next. How much is that rabbit in the window? And you can jump up, hop, hop. The one with the hoppity legs, hop, hop. How much is that rabbit in the window? Hop, hop. I do hope that he is for sale. Oh my friends, I don't think we've covered all the pets yet. I have a few pets that aren't on this board at my house. What do you think? Should we try another pet? I'm going to reach behind me and I'm going to be surprised. Oh, here's a pet that I have. I have a kitty. Should we do a kitty next? I'm going to stick the kitty down. How much is that kitty in the window? And you know what sound kitties make. What do they say? Meow, meow. The one with the whiskers long. How much is that kitty in the window? Meow, meow. I do hope that she is for sale. This one almost kind of looks like Spot in our story. That kind of calico tabby look. We have one more pet to sing about that Miss Trisha has also at her house. To reach way back there. This is a fun one, and you might have this one. What is that, friends? Is that a fish? How much is that fish in the window? And we're going to go globe, globe. The one with the swimmy fins. How much is that fish in the window? Glub, glub. I do hope that she is for sale. These are just a few of the pets that you might find in a pet store or pets that you might have at home. There are so many animals that you can have for pets. We're going to talk about and do a little rhyme about one next. That's a super fun one that maybe you have in your backyard. Normally this isn't a pet you have in your house, but you might have one of these in your backyard. We are going to talk about a chicken. A chicken, friends. Look at my chicken here. You might have a pet chicken. I love chickens, and so you'll hear Miss Trisha read and talk about chickens a lot, but we're going to do a little chicken rhyme. And while I'm at it, I'm going to grab my egg again. We're going to say our little rhyme. The good mother hen sits here on her nest, keeping her eggs warm. See, she's sitting on her eggs, warming them up beneath her breast. She's waiting, waiting, day after day. Hark! There's a sound she knows very well. Some little chickens are breaking their shell. And you can help me here. They go peck, peck, peck. Can you do that? Peck, peck, pecking away. Now they're all out. Oh, see the crowd? Look at all the little chickens. And good mother hen, she's so happy and proud. What does mother hen say? Does she go cluck, cluck? Can you do that with me? Cluck, 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 clucking away. Into the coop mother hen must go. But all her little chickens run to and fro. Those little chickens are running about. And what do the little chickens say? They don't cluck yet because they're not big enough. They go peep, peep. Can you do that? Peep, 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 peep. Peeping away. And then we're going to give them a dish of food with our hand. Can you make a little dish? Here comes some corn in my little dish. Oh, mother hen's going to eat out of it. Eat, mother hen. Eat as you wish. And we're pretending she's eating up the corn. Picking, picking, picking away. Happy, happy we'll be to see you again, dear little chicks, and a good mother hen. Now goodbye, goodbye for today. That's a wonderful little rhyme about mother hen. Again, a hen or a chicken might be a pet that you have at your house. I don't know. I don't have one at my house, but they're awfully fun to work with. So I wanted to share before we're done some facts about pets, and then we're going to sing the alphabet song and talk about our letters. So we're going to do a little more singing too. Did you know, friends, that when Dalmatian dogs, this isn't a Dalmatian, they're the white ones with spots that you might see at fire stations in stories and things. Do you know when they're born totally white. The little puppies are totally white, and they don't get their black spots until they're like a week old. Wow! And another fun thing is, this happens at my house, so I'm going to hold on to the kitty because I have a kitty at my house. 75% of their pet owners celebrate the pet's birthday. They might even have a little birthday treat or birthday party for their pet. We do that for our cats at our house. My daughter loves to have a little birthday treat for the cats. Do you have a birthday party for your animals if you have a pet? Maybe. It might be kind of fun to do. This animal is not a pet, but I just wanted to mention it because I'm seeing so many in my yard, and they are so beautiful. They're one of Miss Trisha's favorite animals. Hummingbirds. They're so tiny. Hummingbirds are the only birds that can fly backwards. Did you know that? Here's another fun fact, and this relates to our story animal, Spot. Cats have 4 rows of whiskers, and they use their whiskers to feel their way around and sense what's going on. They can just feel little minor changes in the air even with their whiskers. The tallest dog in the world is a Great Dane. It's so tall. Oh my goodness, friends, you should look it up. It's almost like a little pony in size. It's so big. And finally, this is again about our friend Spot. And this was in our story that cats spend 50% of their waking hours. That means when they're awake, they spend like half the time grooming and washing their fur. Can you imagine if you washed your hands for half of the day? Oh my goodness, that would be a lot of hand washing. Your hands might get kind of sore. But kitties spend half their day cleaning their fur, that licking of the fur, and wiping their faces and making sure their fur is super clean. So that's kind of a fun fact about cats. We had a lot of facts. That took up a lot of space in our brain. So now I think we should sing a song. We're going to talk about our letters, and then we're going to sing the alphabet song together. Today I put up a lot of letters, These are capital letters, which means they are letters that are for proper nouns, names, and places, and things like that. So P is for pet. If your name started with Paul, if your name was P, if your name started with a P, it might be something like Paul or Patricia or Peter. You get to use that capital letter P. So you know all about that. And then we have the letter. Do you know what letter that is, friends? Some of our reading friends may know. It is the letter E that makes the E sound. And then we have this letter. Miss Trisha knows this letter because I use this all the time for my name, Miss Trisha. Trisha. This is the letter T. Nice job, friends. And finally, we have our letter. I love this one because it looks kind of like a snake, kind of like it sounds. S. S, that's right, for pets. That's right, friends. We're going to trace one of our letters, our P, because that's the start of the word. We're going to stretch our magic Storytime fingers, and we're going to trace the letter P in the air. Are you ready? We're going to make the stick or the leg that the P stands on, and then the half circle. So we're going to go zip for the leg and whoop for the half circle. Let's try it again. Zip, whoop, and we made the letter P. How fun was that? Do you know what, friends? Before we sing our alphabet song, I have to tell you that the library is a great place to practice your letters. You know, when you look at books, you see words, and words are made up of letters. That's right. So it's a great place to practice learning your letters and reading, either with a parent if you're not quite a reader yet, or reading on your own is a wonderful way to learn more words. So definitely come into the libraries. We're open. Check out lots of books and practice reading and learning all about letters and words. Let's go ahead and sing our alphabet song, friends. Are you ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. You did it, friends. And we pointed out the special letters we used today in the word pets as we went through the song, didn't we? Well, I am so glad that you were able to join me for story time today. I want to encourage you to keep reading. Here at the library, we have all kinds of fabulous books if you want to learn more about pets. Miss Trisha has so many books about all kinds of pets that you can come in and check out. So definitely come on in and see some of our librarians, either our youth services librarians or others, and just ask for books that are of interest to you, whatever you like. Even if you have an imaginary pet like a unicorn, you can ask for a book about a unicorn. So once again, thanks for joining me on the Carver County Library Facebook page, and look for Storytimes on Facebook, on our Facebook page, or on the YouTube channel. We're going to end with our closing chant, friends, and then we're going to say goodbye. We do my hands say thank you with a clap, clap, clap. We're going to clap, And then you can tap your feet, tap, tap, tap. And then we're going to roll our hands and wave goodbye. Okay, are you ready? My hands say thank you with a clap, clap, clap. My feet say thank you with a tap, tap, tap. Clap, clap, clap. Tap, tap, tap. And then we roll our hands, and you can roll super fast. Oh, you can roll backwards if you're really tricky, or slow. We're going slow. And then we say goodbye by waving our hands. Goodbye, friends. See you very soon at the library.